Ms. Bradley.
Wanted to please thank your departments for walking around, and I'm really seeing them trying these reading strategies. I really see an effort, and I'm really enjoying what I see. I was in Ms. Fair's room this afternoon. She was doing reciprocal teaching. I was in Ms. Broxton's class yesterday. She was doing reciprocal teaching. And a couple of them, and that's just my walkthrough group. And sometimes I walk past rooms and the doors open, and I'm not sure what the groups are, but I see them in groups. So once I finish my walkthrough group, then I'll just be popping in, not for a walkthrough, but just to watch those strategies taking place. But I know I'm getting good reports from Miss Ingram and Miss Watts. They're the IFs, and they're kind of bouncing around, so they're getting more classrooms than I do. The ones that's not quite there yet, we need to encourage them to go ahead and start trying it. I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. And for the math department, I really appreciate the effort you all are giving, because when this Strive and Reader thing first came out, it was like, almost, well, don't worry about math, that's a different thing, but you guys are really trying, and we really appreciate that. Really appreciate that effort, so please pass that.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Just like Ms. Ferris was doing that reciprocal teaching, I would have liked to have seen that.
Right.
If we know that's going up in our department, can we let you know, or will you help, or get one of the IFs to help us watch our class?
Well, if Ms. Ferris is doing it, I can just move Ms. Watson.
Okay.
Because she's got, Ms. Fair's almost like child care lab in there today. Right. She had Ms. Watson. But
that was 7 people. Like, I know she did PALS earlier.
Right.
And with something else, and I just.
Yeah, just ask the IF.
They'll help us.
Absolutely.
And you're okay with that if we want to go watch. And even any departments if we want to watch.
That's a good idea.
Our own department, or even, because there have been several times that I was doing something, I thought, if other teachers, like I play a game that goes across the curriculum, and I thought, if I could show this review game to other teachers.
Right. Now on our professional day that we have coming up, they're going to do the carousel again.
Right.
So if you got something going on and you want to jump into the carousel, we can do that as well.
Okay. But you don't mind that if we're watching a strategy like one of the PALs or something, we definitely. Okay.
Not at all. Actually, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Give you opportunity to go see the way someone in your department is doing it.
I just know I learn more from even a video is good, but I learn more from the people I work with.
Well, the video can't answer questions.
Right.
Yeah, you can't talk to it, and like you said, and looking at the people you're working with, especially as somebody that's teaching the same content that you are. Because she had it going, it was algebra actually, and they were working on area. See, I even learned something today. But just please tell them we really appreciate it. Are there any departmental concerns or anything?
I had a teacher ask if, like when we use the workroom, the computer lab down there, if we could keep a little station with like some 1 hours discipline referrals, dress code. Another teacher that happened to be, I was walking by and they were like, would you mind mentioning this during the department head? And I said, okay.
They want us to set up a discipline.
Just to have some papers in there so they don't have to bother Marcy or Tyson or whoever.
And it's hard to, which now markers, they go all around that area. So I know half time there's not a marker in there. The eraser gets taken. It's like a floating. We look for ours sometimes, but we try to, I don't mind y'all asking me, but that is a good idea. Because, y'all had to ask for the 1 hours, things like that.
Okay. Well, I'll get with Miss.
Yeah, not you, but I'm just saying other people.
Especially when they were doing the testing down there and they had the kids that didn't have one in dress code, didn't have this or that, and they were just trying to
put like a little folder of that stuff in there. Okay, I'll have Miss Walker work on that. That is a pretty good idea. Any other concerns or things? You look like you get ready to say something.
I was kind of, I don't know. This is really irrelevant, but those flower beds out there.
those flower beds.
those fire pits around the school,
Mhm.
they, who does them?
Well, and
They got
I'm
some
with you. Look out front and look over to the
They
side.
like them.
I don't know if
We
it's because
could-
I'm out there, you know, every
Well,
afternoon, but I'm
you're
like,
right, and we've
ah,
been, it
drives
was,
me crazy.
it was contracted, and we've been after the people to get out here and to do them. But what's gonna happen, once they come out here and do them, we're gonna have Miss Sheffield and her class upkeep. But
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, but I want them to get out here and do it, because they have the contract. And I don't know the guy's name, but yeah, we've been on the phone with them, and I've got a
Is
principal
it the same
meeting
one
with.
that cuts the grass?
No, it's a
Somebody
different one,
different?
yeah.
That's what I was wondering, because I
Yes,
didn't know
it's
who
a
cut the grass,
different
I didn't
one.
want to.
And I'm going
confuse
to,
you
I've
about
got a
it.
principal meeting with Dr. Hen, so I'm gonna tell her that we're not, it just doesn't look good.
The school's so nice and stuff, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
golly.
Put some
Guess
pine
that was
straw
just
out
burnt
there.
up pine straw.
Yeah,
And there's a weed we pulled up last year, it's still out there.
yeah,
It's real big.
I know. We.
I gotta
that's
go
on
look
our-
now, I gotta go see.
that's-
you wanna
that's
pull
on our
weeds,
radar.
don't it?
Well, I
And just
do
go look right out
sometimes
there,
pull
just go
weeds.
look right out front, it
Yeah.
look like the desert, look like
Yeah.
look like water hadn't been, we in a drought or something. All right, anything else? I really enjoyed your road runner.
Did you? I
Yes,
figured
I
you come in there
did.
and thought we
Listen,
were clowning.
I grew up with the road runner now. But
It
you-
was really
that was
effective. I
pretty
did
cool.
it. I did it the other day, and they had missed it somehow. So I said, well, we'll go back and do that first.
Yeah.
But
One little fella in the front row, I thought he was gonna fall out his desk. He was laughing so hard.
yeah, they liked it.
Yeah, that's back in my day right there. Any other concerns, any other issues?
We're working on the restroom schedule.
Okay.
To get that started again.
Okay.
I got to make a few changes.
Okay.
So
Well,
that
we
should
appreciate
start
you.
tomorrow, the
Appreciate you
next
doing
day.
that. Okay. All right. Oh, again, we're starting we've got the Heritage Inn, but we're in talks with them. Ms. Smith went over and met with their director this week, and they've had some changes as far as, like, anybody that needs to go in there, there's things that you have to have, like I don't know if it's a tetanus shot or some type of shot. So they've changed, you just can't walk in there now. So there's some guidelines that even to go visit that you have to,
I can't go.
huh?
Nothing.
Oh, there's some guidelines that you have to have in order to go there. So the lady's gonna talk to her supervisor, because if we want kids to go, like the chorus to go sing, or the band to go play, or things like that, then there's things that you have to have a background check. Yeah, so now you have to have a background check, you have to have a shot, I don't think it's tetanus, but it's,
Is it a TB skin test?
that's it, that's what it is. You have to have the TB, you have to have the skin test, a background check, and I think it's something else. But now you just can't walk in there, so that kind of, we gotta work through the
That puts a
logistics
big
of
wrinkle in
that.
the plan.
Ma'am?
That puts a big wrinkle in the plan.
Yeah,
Golly,
so what we
if you
gonna
got
do
some
this?
relative there, you just wanna go visit. You have to have all that stuff
That's
then.
what they say.
Golly.
Well, I guess if it's a group, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
but, so what we gonna,
Is that just for them, or is that for the?
I think that's,
And
that's everybody, but we have Heritage.
Right.
And so Susan went down there and met with the director.
We also have the hospital there, don't we?
Right, but our month for the hospital is not here
Oh.
yet. So what we're gonna try to do is, they have bingo, and she said, you just don't, they can adjust anything else, you don't mess with that bingo. So I think what, I told Susan to call her and see, or I think what we'll do is sponsor the bingo prizes for the first go-round, and just say from the faculty, staff, and students of Washington County High School, and we'll sponsor. So she's gonna get some of the things that they need or that we can issue, and this first go around, we'll see if we can sponsor the bingo game. So, but she was saying that they enjoy singing and the music and us coming and helping with bingo. So there's a lot of things. We just gotta work the logistics out, and so we're still working on that. We're gonna probably, like, for the hospital, Mr. Clemens, probably want your class to do some art. We got the 10 businesses, so we're working out some things that we can do do for them from the school. So just, you know, we talked about that earlier, so we're still working on that. Anything from y'all?
I just had an interesting comment by a couple students, and I don't know if it was rampant or just isolated, but we've done so well with dress code that the actual time dress code starts. I know when kids come in through the metal detectors, you know, we're telling them tuck the shirt in, put the belt on, get right, be ready for school. But one little guy said the teacher told him, you know, he didn't have to have all that till first period. And
Well,
you
it's
know,
just
we
a
don't.
disconnect.
Yeah, we don't really overly aggressive, you know, but we want them to try to get in, you know, anytime they're in the building.
Yeah.
Anytime they're in the building, stuff like that. And I think it might have been just isolated. It just, we had everybody here, so just make sure we're all on the same page.
Right.
About, you know, anytime they're in here, they're supposed to be in the process. And matter of fact, we try to get them to tuck the shirt in before they come to the metal detector. Put the belt on before they leave the table, so we know that they are at least from the bus ramp area.
I think that issue mostly comes in when those ones are coming in from the car riders, trying to get the first hour. They're running to put it on, so when they get in there, most of the time they are putting it on during first hour. But for the students that come out of lunchroom, you usually don't have that issue.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I thought they had until, didn't we say at one time they had until first hour to get completely ready?
Well,
I mean,
now we're not in the, you know, we're not, when that bell ring from the cafeteria, you know, we're not in the hallways doing dress codes and things like that. But I know when they come on the bus ramp, we telling them, well, they're telling them, I haven't been out there but about once or twice this year, but we're telling them, tuck your shirt in, so when they come in the cafeteria, you don't have everybody just kind of hanging out. So,
well, I know that, you know, every time I see somebody, no matter when it is, and they've got a shirt untucked or whatever, you know, I tell them to tuck it
That's
in.
right. That's right.
But it's just that I wouldn't necessarily write somebody
right.
up
That's
before
right.
then until.
Well, we don't, and that's exactly right. But what we don't need to tell them is don't start the first period.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So that's where the disconnect's
right,
coming
so
in.
you need to be in dress code as long as you're in the building. Now, after school, we don't even bother that, because when that bell ring,
They start.
you know, so we just, that would be yeah. So we don't really even touch it after school. Now, sagging pants is never no time, but, you know, untucked, we kind of let them have it after school a little bit. But, yeah, we just tell them, don't, it's just when they come into the building, they need to be in dress code. So if we all saying the same thing, then it should be an issue.
And one last thing, I know that Coach Ingram's supposed to send out a revised B team schedule, but he had to change it. JV football changed it, but they're playing home tomorrow against Dublin, and they're playing home next Thursday against Thompson.
I
The
think you
original
sent that out
schedule.
last week.
We did.
Well, he did, but he didn't have the Thompson. Thompson just changed. He had Dublin being home tomorrow, but Thompson was away. But Thompson is going to be here next Thursday. So and I'm not sure if he sent that out. I reminded him to send that out again.
I'm saying it's next week.
Everything else is on the road then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, y'all?
Just to remind your teachers that if parents call them or email them or any kind of contact, to please make sure they at least try to get back in touch with those parents. Because they get very upset if they email a couple of times or they call and they don't hear anything back from the teacher. So make sure you tell them to do that, to please do that. Because you get parents come in and they're irate. Well, I called the teacher 3 or 4 times, or I emailed and I hadn't heard anything back from them. And sometimes it's not so much that they're upset about what happened, they just want it to be clarified so they can understand what took place. And we can't answer that because usually we're not there. So we need y'all to make sure the teachers are contacting the parents, especially if they make the initial contact. Just make sure
But with
they-
those logs, y'all, and also, I think I don't know if y'all have, but I hadn't heard anything about, I think we're getting the grades in the portal pretty good. So just tell them to keep up, making sure we stay up on putting those grades in that portal. That's critical, because we don't want people showing up on progress report time, seeing the kids' grades for the first time. So that's just a reminder. I hadn't had any complaints on that, so I think we all still doing a good job of getting that stuff in the portals. Any other questions from anyone? All right, thank you. Y'all have a good evening. Week.